NCHSAA State Championship broadcast presented by West Shore Home from Keenan Stadium at UNC, Mount Tabor, and Cleveland. Hi, everybody. I'm Patrick Johnson along with Jay Sunalder. It's great to have you with us here. Two 10-0 teams, Jay. How do you see the matchup?
Well, it's going to be an interesting ball game with Cleveland. You've got a high-powered offense, where on the other side, Mount Tabor is led by a stout defense. Which team is going to be able to impose their will is going to be the question mark. Both sides have had tough playoff runs, but they've made it to Chapel Hill here tonight.
All right, Jay, who's in the sunny spotlight?
Well, for Mount Tabor, Josiah Banks has had a great season. 6'1", 200 pounds. Speed is his strength. He has 5 interceptions, really good in coverage. Tonight, it's going to be important for him to be active in run support. Now, on the other side, Cleveland's led by Skylar Locklear, their talented junior quarterback. He's got a strong arm that he can drive the ball down the field to his talented wide receivers. 20 touchdowns on the year, and he's really protected the football at a high level. Now, he's grown into be the leader of this offense that's had such a special season.
Ingles, food for thought, low prices, love the savings. Jay, what do you have for us?
Mount Tabor wants to take some shots down the field, but it's going to be important up front. They've got to protect, specifically the tackles have to hold up, and then they've got to contain Locklear. They cannot allow him to get outside the pocket and do damage. Now, on the other side, Cleveland wants to win the turnover battle. That's what they've been focusing on this week in practice. And then tackling is going to be so important tonight in those one-on-one matchups to bring down the ball carrier.
For more on the matchup and on these two teams, let's send it fieldside to Aaron Summers.
On February 28th, 2020, Mount Tabor wide receiver Colin Smith tweeted out, "We're going to win a state championship." Head coach Tyshawn Brown said that was a bold statement and the Spartans better be ready to back it up. Well, the players, they say no one has worked harder than they have over this past year. They come in here 100% focused on winning the school's first state championship. As for Cleveland, head coach Scott Riley said he wants this game to be about having fun. He said, "Sure, this stadium is really nice, but this field is just the same as everyone we've played on. So let's go out there, have fun, enjoy being here, and leave it all on the field. Because no matter what happens, this is the last game of our season. We might as well go out there and win it." Patrick?
Thanks a lot, Aaron. MT, the land, the kickoff in the 3AA title tilt from Chapel Hill. Next. Champions of the West, Mount Tabor. Champions of the East, Cleveland, as we welcome you back in on a lovely evening this spring in Keenan Stadium, UNC Chapel Hill. And that's right, it's this spring. A most unusual football season, but it just feels right, doesn't it, Jay? We're here, and it feels like a championship setting. It's in the upper 70s instead of maybe in the 40s, but it does have that feel of a title tilt, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And with all the adversity that the players, the coaches, the communities, the schools have been through this year, what a great accomplishment to make it to the state championship game and have an opportunity here tonight to bring back the trophy.
You see on the right of your screen there, number 28 in street clothes. That is the great running back, Omarion Hampton. He's been virtually offered by everybody. The junior injured his ankle in Cleveland's first matchup against Clayton. But from that point, this Rams team has been kind of a new team. They rallied in that game. They wound up winning. That helped them win the conference championship and got them into the playoff. And Jay, as you look at it, a much different Cleveland team. In some ways, maybe a more balanced Cleveland team and a more explosive through the air with Omarion Hampton. They've made a great adjustment with him injured.
It is, and how about his teammates stepping up and filling that void? 3 running backs have really taken on those carries, but Scott Riley has really opened up the playbook and started to use more of the passing game to get a balance on offense.
That's Scott Riley there. He's in his 7th year as the head coach of the Rams program. A 13-6 playoff record, 72-21 overall. He has coached as an assistant at Western Harnett in the state title game. Tyshawn Brown is on the other sideline, and Tyshawn Brown has done a fabulous job. He's worked his way up from a JV assistant coach to the head coach his 4th year. He's won 40 of his 53 games at the helm of the Spartans program. He's done a fantastic job. Cleveland won the toss. They've deferred to the second half, so we're about to get underway here with a fired up bunch of Spartans and a rowdy bunch of Rams getting ready to play the 3AA state championship game from Keenan Stadium. It's great to have you along with us. Colin Smith this year has 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown, including one from 97 yards. He's back there with Lance Patterson. And kicking off will be Shaib Zayad, who's been a real weapon for Cleveland this year. 30 kickoffs, 20 of them, or 2 of them, I should say, for touchbacks. Zayad can virtually place the ball anywhere on kickoff, and they will try at times an onside kick. Don't know if they'll start the game with it, Jay, but we've seen them attempt it and be successful.
Hey, well, this is the time here tonight to use up all your plays, any trick plays you have. Here tonight, an important ball game for both of these coaching staffs to get off to a good start.
Pitt County Health Department kickoff. Join the at-home testing challenge and keep your community healthy. And a big return down the sideline. Patterson brings the football out across midfield. Well, we talked about Smith, but don't forget about Patterson, another skilled return man back there. And we've got an injury early, Jay, on a kickoff. You hate to see that.
Yeah, and hopefully we don't see injuries tonight. That's Kobe Perez. Looks like he's going to be able to walk it off. But tonight, Patrick, special teams, that third phase is going to be so important for both sides to really dominate and get good field position. Mount Tabor here, it's a right return. We'll see here just going up that lane, one cut, couple missed tackles. Then you get good field position to start off on the first drive.
34 yards on the opening kick return. And 1st and 10 with Tyrese McIntyre at the controls, the senior. And he'll keep it himself, a big hole. He'll gain ground out across the 40-yard line. He's down around the 38. Here's your West Shore Home starting lineups. Let West Shore Home convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. McIntyre and his brother BJ McIntyre, a dynamic duo. Kobe Perez, when healthy, and we saw what Patterson could do. Voris Holmes, a late addition as a starting wide receiver. Out of the pistol here, avoiding pressure. Catch made at the 37-yard line, and Monk will wrestle the receiver out of bounds. And a look at the defense for Cleveland. It's a defense allowing just 11.5 points per ball game and limiting opponents to 185 yards. Keep an eye on Robinson, a real difference maker. You see Monk there, the strong safety, a real vocal leader. In 24, Hunter Morris is one of those guys who really sticks his nose in. First down, and it'll be from the 31. A nice job by Morris to halt the progress of McIntyre, the senior. McIntyre comes in with 768 yards, and a nice job there. It's been a big season for Hunter Morris. 62 tackles coming in, 16 tackles for loss, 9 tackles in the regional final. Fights the block off here, Sonny, and did a great job to wrap up McIntyre.
Well, that's the strength of his game, is really setting the edge, using his power, his technique to force ball carriers back inside. You can see him in that 3-4 defense really creating havoc on the outside.
Patterson on the jet sweep, looking for room, and Cleveland pursues him on the perimeter, that time on the short side of the field. Keyshawn Monk in on another stop.
Scott Riley talked with us about his secondary. We talked in the open about making tackles, no missed opportunities on the outside. This is a physical group. They're really good in pass coverage, but tonight it's going to be important for those guys that come up and run support.
Cleveland defense only allows 22% on third down. The Spartans are just one of their last 17 on third down conversions the last 2 games. See what they have cooked up here. 3rd and long. And they just stay on the ground. Probably in 4-down territory, Jay, but that seems like a pretty conservative call.
Well, I think in this situation, you want to be aggressive on this first drive. You're right, you've got 2 downs, I would think, to pick this up. But you can see Cleveland already setting the edge and being physical up in the trenches, not allowing those holes to develop for the Mount Tabor running game.
And on that last stop, the junior, K.D. Harrison, he injured his ankle in the regional final win against rival Clayton for Cleveland, but did return for the Rams, and they are going to try the field goal. It is up, and it is good for Elliott Trin. No, he missed it. So Trin, who hit a 48-yarder last week, unable to stick that one. Spartans come up empty on the opening drive. Rams ball when we return. Jay from Mount Tabor, Coach Brown, told us he had a lot of confidence in his kicker, but they come up empty.
Yeah, and I think that was a good drive to get good field position with special teams and then move the ball down the field. They just weren't able to execute, but now you can bring your offense over to the sideline, talk to your offensive line, find out the looks they are seeing up front, and then kind of readjust things for their next drive.
It's a Cleveland offense on the field that averages over 410 yards per game. A fumble on the opening carry, and it's recovered by Freire. Julio Freire, who started at left tackle after the 3rd game of the year. And a look at our West Shore Home starting lineups. Let West Shore Home convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. Amir Johnson was listed to start, but they are going actually with Isaac Piatek, and now replace Piatek in the lineup with Goins. Here's a throw over the middle, and it's off the hands of the senior receiver Carter Griffith. Look at the defense now for Mount Tabor. And Jay, this is a group very physical. They run to the football well.
Yeah, and they take after their coaching staff's persona, which is being physical, especially in that front 7. Watch that 4-3 defense, how physical they are in the trenches, especially up front, to allow the linebackers to roam free without double teams coming up to them.
3rd and 14 for Skylar Locklear, the junior signal caller who's been so great all year. Here's Goins. He spins out of an initial tackle, but is wrestled down by Max Urin, 6'3", 225-pound senior. And Kaishad Davis also in on the stop. So Cleveland will punt the football. Rams with Stephen Elliott. Patterson is back. Elliott gets it away. It'll take a bounce here on the Keenan turf. Patterson picks it up inside the 40 and is spun down for a loss back to the 37. You got a couple of return guys in Patterson and Monk in this game on punts that will get a little adventurous and play a bounce off the turf. They're going to drop the football back to the 37, and that's where Mount Tabor will start their 2nd series. The Spartans beat Alexander Central in their initial opening round game, then knocked off the defending champs Weddington and got by Dudley 24-20 in the 3AA Western Regional Final for a 2nd time this year to advance. And a penalty marker comes in. Jay, the penalty flag issue has been one, though, they've had to deal with this season.
Yeah, and that's been an area of concern, something that they've really tried to clean up and improve at, but it's just been an issue that's continued to linger on. That's something they do not want to see here tonight. That
was Seth Barnes, our referee, on the call. Rams running to the football. Nicely done there. A loss on 1st and long will make it 2nd and longer. Nice job by Deontay Lewis to get in there.
Yeah, look at this speed by Lewis, just throwing the blocker up front, using his hands and creating havoc in the backfield. And there you can see the emotion.
Lewis has come on here lately, the last couple of games. He's played very well, 3 straight games with now a tackle for loss in 7 of the last 8 he's played in after that 7-yard loss. They're going to go to the air. Patterson at midfield. Patterson to the 30. Patterson, the afterburners turned on. Mount Tabor with the touchdown. That score for Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue. At Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, we're grateful to serve. And that one, Jay, was served up on a platter. Nicely done by McIntyre.
Yeah, and the big play was so important for this offense tonight to get off to a good start. It was a corner route, nice throw by McIntyre, and then Patterson, clean break on the route, and then wide open, and then he just turned on the jets. Get off to a good start for his team.
70 yards on the hookup. And for Lance Patterson, the junior, his 4th touchdown reception of the year, his 15th grab. Opportunity here for Trent, who missed the field goal. He has hit 26 consecutive point afters. Make it 27. Mount Tabor, an explosion play. Patterson gets them on the board in Chapel Hill in the 3AA state championship broadcast presented by West Shore Home. Mount Tabor strikes early, Jay Sonhalter. Cleveland had stymied the run. That drew him in just enough, and then the big play over the top, Patterson converting.
Yeah, you could see the secondary really focusing on the backfield, creeping up into the box, and that's what allowed Patterson to get behind the safeties. It was a nice route and good placement on the throw by McIntyre.
And our Pitt County Health Department kickoff. Join the at-home testing challenge and keep our community healthy. Cleveland with a return from deep in their own end. And bringing it out is Monk, never bashful on those returns. So now the Rams, who are only trailing in a game for the 4th time this year, will set up shop. They'll open this drive from the 26 in their own territory. Skylar Locklear completing 66% of his passes. 0 for 1 here early. The junior is the leading passer in terms of yardage and touchdowns in the playoffs right now. Locklear move in the pocket. Has plenty of time, will unload and throw it out of bounds. Good coverage downfield that time. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
A smart decision by Locklear. They're getting outside the pocket, scanning the field, but being careful with the ball and throwing the ball high where only his wide receiver could bring it down or else it would go out of bounds.
Their offensive coordinator for Cleveland is Joseph Capps. He's in his 17th year. He and Coach Riley have coached together during Scott Riley's entire career. In fact, Coach Riley telling us that their relationship's been longer than the one he's had with his wife. 2nd and 10 for an offense that had over 500 yards last week. They'll get a 1st down here on the reception out of bounds, and a guy who's been catching everything thrown his way is Nick Raccia. And by the way, that is going to be a 1st down. North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services 1st down. You have a spot, take your shot.
Raccia is such a good route runner, just sitting in that zone defense.
Pick up a 15, and they go quickly on 1st and 10. And that's Piatek, who fumbled the 1st carry of the game for Cleveland, back in there. And he gets a good gain. Jay, last week against Clayton, he ran for 3 scores and over 100 yards, and they had not played him at the running back spot until the Wednesday before the game. They go with Middleton that time. Sean Middleton, a sensational sophomore. He's another big playmaker.
Back to Piatek. I mean, what a great story with his emergence, with Hampton going out with a horrific injury. Guys are going to have to fill that gap, and Piatek has really done a nice job running the ball. But there you see him. He was the lead blocker on that play as well.
He's lined up to the left now of Locklear. He played 9 positions for the JV team this season. Locklear feeling the pressure. Locklear going to get sacked. Javas Chambers with his 7th sack of the year. He's coming off a season-high 9 tackles in their regional final win. And that little hesitation.
Chambers is playing his best football of his career. He's a senior. They're using the speed off the edge. You're right with that hesitation. He had just enough time.
It'll take a bounce and roll out of bounds. Mount Tabor will take over at about the 30-yard line. Erin Summers is on our sideline this evening. Great to have her with us here in Chapel Hill. Erin, what do you have?
The Rams have faced a lot of adversity this season, especially when their top running back, Omarion Hampton, broke his ankle midway through the season. They've used a mentality that they started with at the beginning of the season. Once they were able to get back on the field after COVID, Coach Riley told them that on the football field is where you can control things. So much was out of control for everyone during COVID, so they've really leaned on that. They try to control everything that happens on the football field, and when things aren't going the way that they want, when there have been injuries or they've gotten down, they dig deep to that mentality. And Coach Riley says they just play like a team possessed.
Colin Smith on the carry that time. And Trey Robinson wrapped him up. Trey Robinson's a very interesting story as you look at Coach Riley there, who calls the defense. He's a senior, could probably play anywhere he wanted as far as college goes. He was the conference defensive lineman of the year, a 2-time all-conference. He's just going to go to college next year and be a regular student because he wants to be an engineer, and says he's happy with his high school career, so he's going to not play at the next level. Oh, tucking and keeping McIntyre. Little Houdini act to escape. Down the sideline and into Rams territory. A first down run for the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. You have a spot, take your shot.
This is what McIntyre brings, that added dimension. He was looking over towards the right, patient in the pocket, and then the special skill set to feel that pressure, elude it, and then turn on the speed to get down the sideline. But that's so frustrating if you're a defender, where you think you've got a sack on McIntyre, and then he gets out of the pocket.
Comes in with 190 yards rushing on the year. He'll give the football to his older brother, B.J. McIntyre. He's pushed out of bounds, shy of the 40-yard line. That was a 22-yard gain by QB1 a moment ago. And B.J. McIntyre, who had a big game against Weddington, 147 yards in the Western Regional semifinal. He picks up a couple there. So second down and short after a gain of 8. McIntyre escapes one Rams defender, and he'll get very close to a first down. So Mount Tabor moves the chains, or do they? Yeah, now they're going to move them. Spartans work the football to the 38. And that another North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services first down as they're moving the chains as Mount Tabor up in this game after a 70-yard strike. Patterson, the man who caught it, this time turning the corner. Another explosion play. Patterson trying to get to the end zone, down inside the 5 at the 3. There was a second, it looked like he might step out, but he's able to work it into the American Military University red zone. Rise to the challenge with a degree from American Military University. At American Military University, you'll learn from the leader.
Patterson has that special speed, but when you look up front, it was the offensive line just bulldozing their way through, and then the finishing block by B.J. McIntyre that allowed Patterson to get outside.
Cleveland trailed Clayton in their game at the end of the first quarter last week, 14-0 in Joko. And this is going to be the second penalty of the game. Patterson with over 100 yards of total offense so far, Sonny, for the Spartans.
And he's been doing it with his legs, and you saw through the air too. He's got the ability to pick his spots in the passing game with McIntyre, Patterson, both of those guys doing so much damage.
After the marker, make it 1st and goal from the 8. Smith. Rams trying to string it out, and a nice job in doing just that. Jay, he won't get credit for the tackle, but Lennox Martinez kept that alive, and that allowed Deontay Lewis to chase down Smith from behind. But it was Lennox Martinez, number 20 there, who kind of strung that thing out.
And that was an outstanding effort by Martinez, just continuing to hold up the block out front and then just stay on that line, keep on skating down that side, and then allowed his teammates to come over for the tackle.
6th play of the Mount Tabor drive. McIntyre with pressure, unloads underneath. An opportunity for Perez, but he's halted. Kobe Perez brought down at the 4-yard line. Good effort there by the powder blue Rams defense.
See Perez here, once he gets this ball out on the edge, not much room to go here. Quickly coming over Cleveland, bringing him down to continue to be stout here inside the red zone.
They had been a really good team on 3rd down offensively, but really have struggled, as we noted earlier in this game, on this down the last 2 outings. 3rd and goal from the 4, and a hard count here as we near 1 minute to go in the 1st. McIntyre. And it's Hunter Morris, the senior. Loss of 1.
Morris, such a physical player. What a big spot to come up here, playing that linebacker position, shedding the blocker, sifting things out, then using his eyes to stay low and make the tackle, forcing a 4th and 5 situation.
Hunter Morris's dad played baseball collegiately at Marshall, and he's going to be an East-West All-Star. Coach Brown deciding to go with the field goal try here, this time a little more comfortable range. Oh, and it's blocked by the Rams. Picked up, Sparks. Coach Scott Riley told us special teams would be big in this game, Jason Alder.
And here his team stepping up huge. 2 field goal opportunities, 1 missed field goal, and here getting pressure up front. We'll see here on the interior, just driving through, going through and making a big play. That was Keyshawn Monk. And then that ball just gets ricocheted up in the air. That's a huge momentum boost for Cleveland.
Jay, when we had Cleveland against Clayton in the regular season meeting, they trailed in that game after the Omari and Hampton injury, and we learned there you just can't count them out. They always seem to make plays. And Goins on 1st down lunges ahead for good yardage. That's going to be the final play of the 1st, as Cleveland will have it from their own 25-yard line. A timeout. Mount Tabor, a couple of opportunities to get on the board. Cleveland special teams coming up with a big play. Down a touchdown as we go to the 2nd. North Carolina High School Athletic Association 3AA State Championship broadcast presented by West Shore Home. Mount Tabor up a score after 1. Stay tuned for the Hardys Feed Your Happy halftime report. We'll have a special interview with Q Tucker, commissioner for the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. First half highlights and more. Keenan Stadium in Chapel Hill. 83 yards of offense for Mount Tabor in that 1st quarter. 16 for Cleveland, but they add to it here. Turning the corner off a nice reception and getting it for a first down into Mount Tabor territory is the senior Carter Griffith. And that, a North Carolina, an NC 529 first down with the NC 529 plan. It's never too early or too late to start saving for education.
Griffith, they are going on a pivot route as Locklear rolled out with that threat of the run and the pass. He was wide open.
And now they go up the middle with Goins. Goins injured his ankle early in the game last week. He had rushed for 22 yards, but never returned after injuring himself. And we do have a flag down. That's the third penalty of the game so far on Mount Tabor. Ill-advised time for a penalty. After the big play adds more yardage onto it. Now Cleveland will operate just outside the red zone from the 25. Locklear. And Locklear able to pick up a couple ahead to the 23-yard line. Skylar Locklear, since Omarion Hampton went out, has been on quite a heater. And he's run the ball very well during this playoff run. In fact, he comes in with just under 400 yards rushing on the year. And he's coming off a season-high 111 in their win over Clayton last Friday night. They beat Clayton in that one 49-21. They were down 14-0 in that game and reeled off 28 straight points. Locklear this time cannot find room on the outside. And that is Jamari Slade, the senior, with the tackle.
Patrick, we talked in the beginning of the ball game about the defense for Mount Tabor. 6 ball games this year, they either had a shutout or only gave up single digits. You can see here, this is a team speed at a high level. Slade, an experienced player coming up from the free safety position, but this is a defense that swarms in packs and really plays well together.
They only allow 22.5% to opponents on third down. Cleveland is at 51%. And here comes a flag. It's be the first on the Rams.
On the offense, it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So for Scott Riley's bunch, after a loss of 2, the penalty backs him up to the 30. Not quite 2 minutes gone by here in this second quarter. Mount Tabor got on the board with a 70-yard touchdown pass on their second possession. And now a Cleveland offense that averages 48 a game is trying to get on track. Locklear, screen, Goins, the freshman. Nowhere to go. He's going to lose yardage. Pretty good job to sniff it out there by Uren. Uren is an interesting story. There's a lot of struggles in the last year in the Mount Tabor community, and Uren's mom helped organize meals for teammates and other students in the community that were in need. Uren bound, by the way, for NC Central. So not only a great football player, but a young man with a family with a big heart. Fourth and 18 now from the 33. Cleveland's going to go for it here. Locklear, he's got the big arm. Off the fingertips of Middleton. He wanted a flag. And a late marker has come in, but it's in the vicinity. It would be holding. Oh, wow.
This results into an automatic first down.
How about that?
See, huge mistake here. See, up the middle, shot to the head of Locklear. That's where the penalty flag is.
So now Cleveland in the American Military Red Zone rise to the challenge with a degree from American Military University. At American Military University, you'll learn from the leader. All spotted at the 18 and a fresh set of downs now for Cleveland. Locklear. And he's going to lose his helmet as he stumbles forward. Skylar Locklear had the game-winning touchdown run against Clayton earlier in the year, so he's shown an ability to run the football. We mentioned big yardage, but Jay, he's not played a team, I don't think, with the speed on the perimeter that Mount Tabor possesses.
This is the best defense he's faced all season long. And that was Josiah Banks, who we highlighted in the opening of the ballgame. Going to West Point, he's got a bright future as well. This linebacking core, they really read their keys, play with their eyes, and then they let their speed take over. And Locklear just couldn't get outside.
Goins in now at quarterback as Locklear had to come off with his helmet. And another whistle. And it's going to be
Timeout, Cleveland.
Yep, Cleveland
That's
taking the
their first
timeout.
timeout of the half.
We'll break with them. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association 3AA State Championship broadcast presented by West Shore Home. Big play upcoming for the Rams. Josiah Banks with a big play a moment ago. Aaron has more on the senior.
Mount Tabor linebacker Josiah Banks committed to West Point, and instead of opting out this spring, he said there was absolutely no way he wasn't going to finish out this season with his teammates.
Goins drops it in the breadbasket. The freshman with a touchdown toss. Gracious. And that score for Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue. At Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, we're grateful to serve. Jay, he hit a big pass in the regular season meeting, a game you and I did against Clayton. Here, he laid it in perfectly.
And as a freshman to come in to such a huge ball game, clean pocket, good arc on this throw, and then he hit Griffith in stride. That's what this big play offense needed, is a spark. Going came in through an accurate ball.
Zayad boots through his 70th career point after, and we're knotted at 7 apiece. So Carter Griffith comes up with his 4th touchdown reception of the year. It's an offense that has come in averaging 212 yards through the air per game, and it's just not Locklear that can dazzle with his ability to throw the football. Sonny, let's take another look here.
Yeah, Patrick, Cleveland has so much depth at the wide receiver position. Look up front, clean pocket, plenty of time to throw. And then the safety came up, played with his eyes, but he was moving up and allowed Goins to throw the ball right over the top in a one-on-one situation to Griffith. And Griffith had the step, but also he kind of boxed out the defender once he got that angle. That was just perfect execution.
Well, the coach of the Rams, Scott Riley, wanted his team to be loose and have fun this week. They're having fun every time they make a play, seeing themselves on the Jumbotron here at Kenan Stadium. All right, time for a Pitt County Health Department kickoff. Join the at-home testing challenge and keep our community healthy. This time it's Smith to the 30. He's got a hole. Oh, a nice move. He makes another one to get free. Smith with a dazzling return out to the 45. Well, a couple of early candidates for our Hardee's Feed Your Happy Play of the Game. We'll be showcasing that at the conclusion of this evening's broadcast.
Interesting for Mount Tabor, they're winning the field position battle, doing an outstanding job on kickoff return. It's just the difference is the field goal situation, they haven't been able to execute and knock in those opportunities.
155 yards of total offense so far for the Spartans. McIntyre going to air it out again. Oh, a great attempt laying out, unable to bring it in. Holmes, who got the start here tonight. McIntyre came in completing 53% through the air. Led him just a little too much there, Sonny.
Yeah, and right there, he's just trying to lay the ball up. But again, we see McIntyre get outside, out of the pocket. That's where he does his damage, and that's where he's at his best.
So 2nd down and 10. McIntyre 3 out of 5 now through the air. Swings a pass over to the right this time. Here's Patterson to the 40. Patterson into Rams territory with another explosion play. 2nd reception, and he's now over 100 yards.
So Patterson has an extra gear. I mean, look at him here. This is just a simple screen outside, an outstanding block out on the perimeter, and then just a one-on-one matchup. Patterson's going to win that most cases.
1st down to the 32. That's an NC 529 1st down with the NC 529 plan. It's never too early or too late to start saving for education. So 1st and 10. McIntyre carrying the tackler with him and turns a 2-yard loss into a 1-yard gain. And that was Lennox Martinez making the hit. He had 6 tackles, a couple tackles for loss, and a sack, and he also cut out and defended 3 passes in the regional final in the East. Holmes at the top of the screen. Nowhere for Perez to go. They blow the play dead. Deontay Lewis, the senior, having a big game here so far in the 1st half.
Yeah, look at the power right here on that edge. 3-4 Rams coming over to help out on this tackle. When you've got team speed, you have guys flowing over to the football. It makes it so tough for the running game. Mount Tabor just had no room to run there by Lewis.
3rd down and long. And a timeout taken by Mount Tabor. Coach Brown wants to talk it over. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association 3AA State Championship broadcast from Chapel Hill, presented by West Shore Home. We're tied. At the conclusion of this evening's broadcast, we'll be selecting the West Shore Home player of the game. Let West Shore Home convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. 3rd down and 11 out of the timeout. Looks like Mount Tabor's changing the play, Sonny.
It looks like they're seeing and reading the defense, predicting a blitz.
Oh, a sack! McIntyre got lit up. Dylan Pardue, the junior, with his 5th sack of the year.
With Pardue creeping up towards the line of scrimmage. We'll see number 42 unblocked. Mount Tabor missed assignment. He just drilled him in the backfield. Again, we'll see no hands on Pardue. An easy sack and a huge play. Make it 4th and 18.
Their 40th sack of the year as a defense. Mount Tabor to punt with Graham Foley on for the 24th time. Monk picks it up. I told you, Sonny, he'd play it off a bounce here on this turf, even though he was surrounded by Mount Tabor defenders. And that gets him just a little bit more yardage and a little bit more room to work with here.
Fearless. No matter where he is, he's going to pick it up and try to make something happen.
So Cleveland from their own 15. And back into the game now is Locklear. Skylar Locklear, who spent the extended offseason working out at 6 in the morning at the track around Cleveland's football field. Built his own home gym. Going to give it to Piatek here, and the Swiss Army knife for the Rams, able to advance the football close to a first down.
Piatek so smooth out of the backfield, and just reading the offensive line up front. They create some gaps in the running game. That's what allowed him to run right through the middle.
Now it trips to the left for the Rams. Middleton, the sophomore, regains it after bobbling, and he'll have a first down. Might have gotten more if he'd caught the football and brought it in cleanly.
Mount Tabor now playing deep. Their safeties are back about 15, 20 yards. They do not want to give up the big play. That's what allowing these underneath routes to be wide open for Cleveland. So we'll see if they keep on picking their spots with these shorter routes.
Gain of 12 for an NC 529 plan. First down for the Rams. And Locklear's numbers are beginning to pick up a little bit. He'll go to the air here. As a man out near midfield. And another first down on a pickup of 14. Carter Griffith already has a touchdown reception tonight. Makes another grab.
So Griffith is playing his last ball game of his high school career, the senior, coming through here early on. Such a good route runner. His hands, he can locate the ball, just pluck it out of the air, gets another first down.
Third catch for Griffith. Piatek up the middle. Right now they're going to a little tempo too, Jay.
Yeah, and I like it. Just changing up the pace and then the balance. Pass, run, pass, keeping this defense on their heels.
Both the Rams and Spartans 10-0 coming in. Piatek wrestled to the turf. And that was Deshaun Watson, the 6'5", 305-pound junior.
Watson has so much potential. Look at him, still has another season of eligibility, and he's the guy college coaches are going to continue to look at with his size, his quickness, and just his ability to use his technique to get in the backfield.
Gain of 1. And that time the play blown up. Nicely done. Getting back there to him, Jamari Slade, who's bound for Fayetteville State.
Look at Slade out here. One-on-one tackling situation, wrap up, do not let your man get away. Slade. That's going to look really good on film when the coaches watch that. Great technique. That's such a tough situation when you're out on the perimeter to make that play.
The Rams have quick kicked out of this formation. They're going to go for it here. Deep ball down the middle, overshot Raccia. Nick Raccia was wide open. May have needed to keep running for the end zone, Jay.
Well, it was there. That may be just a miscommunication. The offensive line again holding up front for Locklear. Clean pocket. And right here, just looked like that ball sailed a little bit. Raccia looked like he was going towards the middle instead of continuing to go straight towards the end zone.
So now Mount Tabor from their own 45-yard line. They've already got a 70-yard pass play for a score. Came in averaging less than 50 yards through the air, but they've been effective tonight. McIntyre will throw again, and that will be incomplete. 3 Rams players were there. Smith is who he wanted. And there's a marker down. Might be a hold. We'll see. Already have a roughing the passer. And Jay, kind of the reaction of those big uglies up front for Mount Tabor, it is a hold.
Holding on the offense. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty for the spot foul. Repeat first down.
That moves them back to the 35.
Yeah, and you see right there in the middle, that was an easy call with Trey Robinson trying to break through. He was held by 2 offensive linemen. Now for the Spartans, 2:30 left on the clock, still 2 timeouts. You have plenty of time, but you've got to be successful here on first down.
Patterson near side. Oh, nice move. Makes another great move. Advances the football. Ahead.
Patterson, he's got that skill set you can't teach. I mean, look at this play. Just a simple, quick, wide receiver screen, make one man miss, second defender, and then power through to get a couple extra yards.
Well, Jay, all of that, and he just got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and you know, for them here, just taking it down by down to try to eat up some more yardage, to try to make it manageable on third down is the goal.
I think regardless of what happens here, they do not want to give the football back to the Cleveland offense before halftime. It's in the air for an eternity. Smith could not bring it in. Sparks, the junior, with him there defensively.
I like how the Spartans are being aggressive. When they see a one-on-one matchup on the outside, they're looking for it, and they're going for the home run ball. McIntyre got a lot of arc on that ball, but still, it's one of those ones 50-50. It didn't go their way, but now 3rd and 20. I'd expect another shot down the field.
Coach Brown and his offensive coordinator, Lamar Marshall, who was the head coach from 08 to 16 at Mount Tabor, won 80 games, went on to coach collegiately. That only lasted a year because the staff was fired at Davidson, and then he was the head coach at Parkland last year. Coming back to his alma mater, Patterson springs free. Patterson bursts ahead into Rams territory, and he sets them up here with inside of 90 seconds to go in tremendous field position to get another score.
Another explosive play. 3rd and 20, what do? Give it to your best player and let him do damage. Quick jet sweep on the outside. That was a nice block up front by McIntyre. And then also on the outside, Colin Smith continuing to block downfield, and that's what allowed Patterson. We thought it was going to be a pass through the air, but it was a quick jet sweep to pick up the first down.
26 yards to pick up the NC 529 first down. With the NC 529 plan, it's never too early or too late to start saving for education. Putting on the brakes and then bursting ahead for another first down. Mount Tabor with McIntyre with some nifty footwork.
Now for the Spartans. Starting to get closer and closer to scoring position. Inching down towards 1 minute left on the clock, picking up the tempo a little bit. But I like what I see as far as their clock management using the time.
Flag comes in from the near sideline.
Prior to the snap, false start. On the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Referee Seth Barnes. Back to the 29, there's Coach Brown. Quite a wrestler in his day, over 100 wins at Mount Tabor, and he said he only got into wrestling really to stay in shape for football, and in 1999 he was state runner-up. First down. McIntyre keeping the play alive. Shoots it across the middle. Is it caught? Oh, they're going to say it was a grab at the 11. A nice sliding effort. And that's McKee Haig.
Look at this effort by Haig. First of all, McIntyre getting away from Pardue. And look at this catch. We'll see this ball that hit the ground.
Might have bobbled it a little. Yeah, might have bobbled it a little. First and goal from the 10 in the American Military University red zone. They go to the left. They move the ball to the 7. It'll be second and goal there. Mount Tabor burning their penultimate timeout of this first half. Well, stay tuned for the Hardys Feed Your Happy halftime report. We'll have a special interview with Q Tucker, commissioner for the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. First half analysis from Sonny, and also highlights and a lot more. Beautiful night here at Chapel Hill. Jay, you get the sense that Mount Tabor going into break here really wants to take advantage of this opportunity because Cleveland will have the football to start the second half.
Yeah, and that huddle over on the sideline, you know the message is, hey, let's win up front, be physical, and punch this ball in. I think you've got to give the ball to Patterson. Get him and McIntyre involved outside and on the perimeter. That's where they've done the damage tonight. But those are your two best offensive players. Let them go to work.
McIntyre 6 of 9 through the air for 130 yards. He's also run for 29. Patterson, big collision near the goal line. Oh, they say he got in. Lunged forward and gets the touchdown for Mount Tabor. And that for Smithfield Chicken and Barbecue. At Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, we're grateful to serve. Patterson with 2 scores in this game.
Look at this block by B.J. McIntyre, number 23, just shoving his man out of the way. And then Patterson doing the little things. Look at him outstretching his arm right here to get into the end zone. But you look outside, Haig with a nice block. Colin Smith as well. The teammates really doing a nice job down the field to give a pat for Patterson.
That's his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. And so far, Lance Patterson has been the star for Mount Tabor.
Patrick, what an impressive drive. 3rd and 20. Spartans kind of look like they're getting out of rhythm, and then Patterson got that jet sweep, picked up the first down, and then they really managed the clock. Go down here, execute, get that touchdown, be physical, and leave. Only 29 seconds left for the Rams.
Big bright smile for Patterson there. Always out of breath, Jay, until you see yourself on that Jumbotron, aren't you?
Yeah, and then as soon as you see yourself, that kind of changes things up. you get your win back.
You were more of a mean mug guy, if I recall, though, Sonny, right?
Yeah, I had that stealth look. Tried to be physical, tried to be tough down on the sideline. I wasn't as fast as Patterson.
No. Jay, I watched a lot of your games. In college, you weren't.
maybe one day here, as I age, I'll pick up my speed.
I know you're working on that explosiveness, aren't you?
I'm still training.
Yeah. Aren't we all? All right, here we go. Pitt County Health Department kickoff here. Join the at-home testing challenge and keep our community healthy. From the 7-yard line. Middleton. And he'll get out to the 20. Forward progress will spot him there. So, Jay, 22 seconds to go. Do you take a knee if you're Cleveland? You're going to get the ball back after halftime, or do you maybe try something downfield here?
Well, I think the safe play here is to just take a knee, go into the halftime break, and regroup. No reason to have something inadvertent happen. Looks like Cleveland is not going to go with that philosophy here. It looks like they'll try to take a shot down the field. Well, no, timeout.
Yep. That's Mount Tabor. And they were kind of like you, Sonny. I guess they thought that there was going to be a formation that might result in either just a handoff or a knee, but the Rams came out, twins to either side, and they take their final timeout.
Well, that's a smart timeout just to make sure your team's on the same page. There's no miscommunication. One thing about Scott Riley is he's going to continue to be aggressive. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him line up in 4 wides here and try to at least get a couple plays in to get the ball towards midfield for a Hail Mary opportunity.
5th year with 10-plus wins under the tutelage of Riley. He was an assistant on the 09 Western Harnett team that was the state runner-up to A.C. Reynolds out of Asheville, 14-13, and he wanted his team to enjoy the week. They were excited to be here. Obviously, their uniforms resemble UNC, and they were fired up to be here in Chapel Hill. See what they have come up with here on 1st and 10. Locklear's going to go to the sky. Catch underneath. And that was Goins. He's thrown a touchdown pass. He's carried the football, and now he's got a reception. That went out to the 25. And that'll be the final play of the first half. Cleveland will have the ball to start the second. A lot of respect between these two 10-0 teams. And we've got a very good one here at halftime. Rams offense has had some flashes, but held to just 7 first-half points. Mount Tabor with a couple of touchdowns from Patterson. Lance Patterson in this game has been the impressive player for the Spartans offensively. A 70-yard touchdown reception and a 7-yard end-around run. And Coach Brown is with Aaron Summers right now. Take it away, ES.
Coach, what do you need to see your team doing going forward to build off of that last touchdown drive?
Well, we got to cut down on the penalties first off. And defensively, it's the same thing. It's penalties. We're beating ourselves right now with penalties.
How can you clean those up?
We're going to go in this locker room. We're going to put an emphasis on it. We're going to get on this huddle sideline and see what's going on and just make adjustments and clean up all the mess. That's all.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
6 penalties in the first half for 60 yards for Mount Tabor. Yet they have a touchdown advantage over Cleveland. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association 3AA State Championship broadcast presented by West Shore Home. Stay tuned. Halftime, straight ahead. Welcome back to the Hardee's Feed Your Happy halftime report. Well, we'd like to thank Ingles for being a sponsor of tonight's game. Let's hear more now from Melissa Levels with Ingles.
Hello, everybody. This is Friday Night Rivals. I'm Nelson Weston here with our good friend Melissa Level. Melissa, it's always a pleasure to see you.
I know, with football, it's almost over. I know the season's almost over.
It is almost over, but guess what? We are here at the State High School Championship football game. Are you ready for some final football?
I am, and I'll tell you what, it's amazing that we all got here. What a crazy year, but congratulations to both teams and to the players and all the hard work they had to do to get here.
It was a crazy year indeed. Now, Melissa, talk to us for a second about what this moment means, and not just for Ingles, but for the community as a whole, especially in light of the pandemic.
Absolutely. Well, you know, it's been tough on everyone, families and children that have had these sporadic school times and practice times. This took every bit of heart and gumption to get here. And as far as Ingles goes, you know, a lot of these people work at an Ingles. You know, we feed their families, their children come in to get jobs, their first jobs sometimes are with Ingles. We have our pharmacy, so we're kind of wrapped around the community. We wrap our arms around them and give them a great big hug. So we feel like this is a way to say, we're so proud of you guys.
Even during the darkest days of the pandemic, Ingles always remained steadfast in their commitment and partnership with the community and with educational initiatives.
That's correct.
Melissa, let's talk about that famous Tools for Schools program. What's that all about?
Well, and it's wonderful, and it did keep going, and I think that's a really good point to do that. Every time anybody came in to shop, if you have an Ingles Advantage card and you link it to the school of your choice, money goes to that school. And we kept it going, and to be honest with you, people were shopping more, so schools earned more money. Now, we didn't want to deliver things to empty schools, so we rolled the money over so people could get use it this year when schools reopened, so that everything would be ready in the classroom when they came back. So we did the best we can to make sure the money was used properly and for the best it could be.
Every time you're swiping your card, folks, you are giving back to your community. That is outstanding work.
Absolutely.
And Melissa, on a day like game day, and any day for that matter, Ingles is undoubtedly the place you want to shop for all your great foods, isn't that right?
Absolutely. Everything including the game cakes, you know, you can have with your team pictures on the front, you know, snacks and the soft drinks, and of course our wonderful party platters and subs and pizza, everything.
Outstanding work. Folks, this is Friday Night Rivals. I'm Nelson Weston. Back to the game.
We're back in on the Hardee's Feed Your Happy halftime report. This is the 3AA state championship game broadcast. And a beautiful evening here in Chapel Hill. Before our game tonight, our Jay Sonhalter had a chance to speak with Q Tucker, Commissioner of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
Hi, we're here with Q Tucker, Commissioner of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Q, how exciting has it been to get to this point of the football season?
Well, maybe the best way to say it, Jay, is we're over the moon with excitement. We certainly are pleased. We're ecstatic that we've been able to travel a path that has allowed us to play other sports, including what we're getting ready to witness this weekend, as speaking specifically about our football championships. But we're just really pleased. But all the credit goes to our school people, administrators, superintendents, principals, and then obviously from the sports end, we look at our athletic directors and our coaches and what they've done to make this year possible. Is really short of miraculous. I was a classroom teacher for 12 years in the public schools. And so when I think about teachers and what they've been through this year, it is short of a miracle that they've been able to do what they've done. And so my hat's off to them.
And in this year's state championships, there's plenty of big name football schools, football powers. What do you think makes these programs so successful?
Well, I think, first of all, it's a commitment on the part of administrators to having a first-class athletic program. And sometimes having a first-class program doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to end up in a state championship. But I think when you make the commitment to provide resources and to have quality people who are in charge of your program, people who are doing things the right way, that's when the cream rises to the top. And I think these programs year in and year out do things the right way. They involve the community in their efforts. And it's just a tribute, or really a credit to their efforts to be in a state championship game almost every year.
And we've all been through so much this year, so many challenges. What's been the biggest challenge with the association this season?
Just, the challenge of dealing and addressing the unknowns. And then the challenge of just being able to communicate what our rules and regulations are. I think our schools have done a really good job of understanding that everything we've done this year basically has been in a modified form. All of our usual rules and regulations, we've had to modify those, but we have persisted and we've done everything we can. And I think our students appreciate the fact that, we had a season.
And as the leader of the association, what are you most proud of accomplishing this year?
Just proud of the way our athletic directors, coaches have jumped in gear and done what they need to do. And then again, I need to say to our student athletes, I'm proud of them. We've asked them to do some things this year that we know has to have been uncomfortable. Wearing a mask when you're playing basketball. I played basketball in high school and college. I know that was tough. I wear that mask every day, but I'm not running up and down a basketball court. I'm not running up and down that soccer field or the football field or on the volleyball court. So I know it has been difficult. So I really appreciate and I'm proud of the way they have answered the request to do their part to help mitigate the spread of COVID.
We certainly appreciate all of your time here today, Commissioner Tucker, and thank you for all of the hard work you and the association have put forward this season.
Thank you, Jay, for sharing our story.
From Keenan Stadium, the Hardee's Feed Your Happy halftime report. Mount Tabor with a touchdown advantage over Cleveland. And let's take a look at some of the Hardee's halftime highlights. And early on, through the air, Patterson, the first score of the game. McIntyre's been impressive in the pocket, but it's Patterson who's been explosive, Sonny.
Yeah, and I really like the coaching staff finding different ways to get Patterson the ball, jet sweeps on routes through the air. They had good field position on special teams, but this is where they had some issues, field goal opportunities.
Missed one on their first drive, and then a block there for Monk. Cleveland had to go to the backup quarterback after Locklear lost his hard hat, and the freshman dropping it right in. Whoop.
Owens to Griffith, that was a great start to the offensive scoring for Cleveland, a big play through the air. But closing out the half, I was impressed by Mount Tabor finding a way to get in the end zone and gain some of that momentum.
Big stretch there by Patterson. 2 scores for him tonight. He's having a special evening, undoubtedly. He's the total yards leader in the game. Halftime stats for Hardee's. Mount Tabor dominating on the ground. They've also thrown the ball with great effectiveness with McIntyre. They've limited Cleveland to just 115 yards. The Rams come in averaging over 410. Penalties have been a problem, however, for Sparty in the first half.
Well, and you could sense the frustration from Coach Brown. He was talking to Aaron about the penalties, the missed field goal opportunities. They've dominated the stats, but they've only got a 7-point lead. Now, on the other side, Cleveland, they've done some good things. They just haven't got those explosive plays. So we'll see the adjustments Coach Riley makes at the halftime break.
Cleveland hanging in there, down just 7 at intermission. Second half action on the other side. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association 3AA State Championship broadcast presented by West Shore Home. We're about to start the second half of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association 3AA State Championship broadcast presented by West Shore Home. Before we begin, let's go down to Erin Summers. She spoke with Scott Riley, coach of Cleveland.
Thanks, Patrick. Cleveland head coach Scott Riley said defensively his team needs to eliminate the big third down plays that Mount Tabor has had in the first half of this ball game, and offensively he needs to see his Rams put together longer, more sustained drives of their own. He said both of those things come down to execution, Patrick.
Skylar Locklear looks pretty relaxed. He'll get the ball here in just a moment, as Trent will kick the football off. There's Middleton, the sophomore. Been kind of a quiet night for him. And there's Farmer. Farmer, a senior, hoping not to play in his final game. And Trent approaches the football. Toe greets leather. Second half is underway with our Pitt County Health Department kickoff. Join the at-home testing challenge and keep our community healthy. Healthy return out across the 25 for Farmer. That's where Cleveland will set up shop. Jay, what second half adjustments do we need to see from both sides?
Well, I think for Cleveland, they've got to get the ground game going here to set up some more balance. And then on the defensive side, Cleveland was at their best when they were bringing the blitz on the outside, keeping McIntyre in the pocket from the edges, from that 3-4 linebacker look with 2 edge defenders. Now on the other side, Coach Brown talked about the adjustments, cleaning up the penalties, number one, and then finding ways to execute in the red zone, especially after you have those missed field goal opportunities. Those are things you're going to look back later on in this game and hope that they won't come back to haunt.
That's their first time out.
Well, Mount Tabor has to call a timeout here, and Coach Brown, who also calls the defense, exacerbated might be the way to describe it. He's certainly beside himself. Jay, tough to burn a timeout here before you even snap the ball in the second half.
There's frustration there because you don't know what it's going to look like in the fourth quarter if you need to have those timeouts. So frustration that they had to call one there for sure.
Well, stay tuned. After this evening's game, we'll be highlighting the Legacy Federal Credit Union drive of the game. Be your best you at a Legacy Federal Credit Union. Skylar Locklear hoping for a candidate for that here as he leads his team out. Locklear's been pretty amazing during the playoffs. We've not seen Amir Johnson tonight, as that was the freshman Goins. And another stop made by Slade, who's in on his third tackle. Check that, his fifth tackle of the game. Amir Johnson injured himself in the Lee County game where he rushed for 69 yards and 2 scores. He's their backup behind Omarion Hampton and then took over as the starter when Hampton got injured in late March. 2nd and 10, Locklear, tuck and keep. Locklear fumbles the football. It's picked up, off to the races. Mount Tabor, a scoop and score. Who else? Patterson. A Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue TD. At Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, we're grateful to serve.
Patterson continuing to step up. We'll see here. Locklear trying to make something happen, eluding the pass rush. And then that ball just hanging out there and kind of got stripped. And Patterson on the spot. He knew it was a house call as soon as he picked it up. And what a ball game for the star junior.
Tren, whose dad was a kicker at the Citadel, hit a game-winning field goal against Army in his time there. Boots through the extra point. And Mount Tabor, the scoop and score, and a 2-score lead. Not quite a minute in to the second half. Two scores here on our North Carolina High School Athletic Association 3AA State Championship broadcast. It's presented by West Shore Home. Patrick Johnson, Jay Sunholder, and Aaron Summers. Patterson closing in on 150 total yards. That scoop and score, 31. He carried it in from that far out following the fumble by Locklear. That was generated by Noah Marshall, who's having a heck of a game here tonight. Marshall grew up around this Mount Tabor football program. So we'll get another Pitt County Health Department kickoff, join the at-home testing challenge, and keep our community healthy. From the 11 this time. That's Piatek. He'll carry the football out to the 30. Jay, does the mission change here any now for Cleveland down 2 scores?
Well, I think Cleveland's going to have to feel that sense of urgency. You know, this is one of the few times this season where they've faced adversity, and they're going to have to find a way to continue to run the ball. You don't need to panic, but you're going to have to execute at a higher level, and you cannot have turnovers.
31-yard line is where they will operate from. By the way, that was the 26th takeaway for the defense this year a moment ago for Mount Tabor. They are now plus 21 on the turnover margin. Have a night. Carter Griffith, another reception for the senior.
Griffith has really stood up. So many possessions here early on for Cleveland. He's a guy, you look at his frame, 6 feet tall, but very sturdy, strong receiver, and he knows how to use his body to get open.
Picks up the first down. Aaron Summers has an injury update on the Cleveland sideline. What do you have, Aaron?
Cleveland receiver Cameron Goins, who scored that first touchdown for Cleveland, is on the bench right now, has taken off his pads and is unable to move his right arm above his shoulder. Currently, he's been looked at by the athletic trainer and has just been sitting on the sideline, Patrick.
It's a big blow. He left last week's game with an injury and did not return. That was said to be a lower leg injury. Locklear, 2nd and 10. That wobbles on him a little. It's going to be intercepted. Patterson is there again. What a night for Lance Patterson. That's their 15th interception of the year. Jay, is there anything Lance Patterson isn't doing tonight?
He can do it all. And I mean, on the offensive end, you see the explosive plays. But now on the defensive end, comes through with 2 turnovers, spot on coverage. And he's only 5'7", but you see his ability to run stride for stride, move his hips in a one-on-one situation win. This is a talented junior that's going to continue to garner more college recruiting interest.
Oh, absolutely. Now he's going to come out and play offense, Jay.
Doesn't take a break.
No, he certainly does not. From inside their own 20, B.J. McIntyre. And a nice tackle recorded there. And that's James Garton. Garton with a 5-tackle performance in the regional final. Gain of 1. Back-to-back interceptions now for the Rams. Patterson. Cleveland running to the football aggressively. And that will be a gain out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Pickup of 5.
Well, now for Cleveland, you've got to come out here and make a play on the defensive end. 3rd and 5, get off the field. Again, Scott Riley's defense has played its best when they brought pressure.
They need a stop after back-to-back turnovers. Pistol look for Tyrese McIntyre. He'll get dragged down. Heck of a play by Deontay Lewis.
Lewis has been flying all over the field tonight. We saw power with his leverage. Here we see the speed getting to the outside. Such a tough situation with McIntyre kind of hanging out there over the sideline, trying to look down the field. Lewis just came in and cleaned him up to get off the field.
Monk back to return. Foley had a 30-yarder on his only try. Good air underneath this one. Monk will avoid it. And that's going to cost him about 6 yards. Credit Mount Tabor's coverage team there, Jay. They took off and busted it down the field.
Yeah, they did a nice job. Their special teams unit, got challenged at the halftime break. Good job there, letting that ball roll, getting a couple extra yardage. And now for Cleveland, again, coming out on this drive, you've got to get into rhythm. This is an offense that's been explosive all season long. They've got to find a recipe through the air for explosive plays. But again, up front, that offensive line has to be challenged here to try to run the ball and create balance.
46-yarder for Foley, who has a long this year of 60. Back to it, Locklear, after his 8th interception of the season. And Locklear darts out of bounds, a pickup of 15. That will move the chains. And it'll be a North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services first down. You have a spot. Take your shot.
And Locklear, the junior, look at that. He's looking down the field as he is getting outside the pocket, continued to look down at his wide receiver to see if he could attack the secondary. He didn't see anything he liked, and he's got enough speed to pick up a big gain.
Slips a pass to Piatek. He'll break a tackle. And Piatek for a first down inside the 40 of the Spartans.
Good little change of direction there with a quick little flip pass to Piatek.
The old school shovel pass, Sonny.
Yeah, we like the shovel underneath the defensive line off balance.
Back to the air. Griffith with the grab. And he is out at the 31. Say he was tackled in bounds, however. So that'll be a gain of 9, and now Cleveland moving the chains. Rams need a score here in the worst way after turnovers on their opening 2 drives. Piatek. And Piatek fighting for yardage. He got twirled down by Chris Wilborn, the sophomore.
See the offensive line here getting pushed up front. Look at the middle. And that's just a wall for Piatek. The offensive line getting leverage for Air Jones, Garton, Stanley, and Ellis doing the job on that play.
North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services first down.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
They did have the ball inside the American Military University red zone, but this will back them up to the 24. So 1st and 15. What happened there, Jay?
Well, no, yeah, and there you just saw the offensive line getting a little antsy. But I like this drive by Cleveland right now, mixing in the run and the pass.
Draw play. Piatek knocking on the door of the red zone there. Stopped at the 21. So with the senior Amir Johnson injured, the midseason injury to Omarion Hampton, Cameron Goins, as Aaron reported, on the bench. It's going to be the Isaac Piatek show here on the ground, it appears. And again, he had a sensational game against Clayton, 114 yards and 3 touchdowns. And they just tried him out at running back the Wednesday before the regional final because of injuries at the position. And he's fighting tough for yardage here on 2nd and long. Gonna bring up a 3rd and 10.
Well, Scott Riley's just so proud of his performance and how he stepped in here into a large role for this offense. And you think about Omarion Hampton, this is the high school All-American, a guy that's being recruited by Alabama, Clemson, UNC, Ohio State. The biggest name schools are after him. And I know it's tough for him being on the sideline, having to rehab this injury, but he's got such a bright future.
Yeah, he's been working really hard on the rehab. 3rd down, and it's a sack. Deshaun Watson, the big lineman who plays basketball as well at Mount Tabor, comes up with their sack, their 18th of the season as a defense.
6'5", 305 pounds with tenacity right up the middle. You've got to double team Watson. That's just too easy, one-on-one blocking situation. With that pass rush, look at that wingspan. He just threw his man away and got in the backfield. And that was a huge play to get the sack.
The junior, 6'5", 305 pounds. You know, one thing that's impressive about both of these programs, these guys vastly just don't play football only. They're multi-sport athletes. Watson's one of them. Throw, back of the end zone, caught! Touchdown! Nick Raccia. You can never count Cleveland out, and you can never count Skylar Locklear out.
And Raccia just kind of hid behind the secondary. Look at Locklear rolling to the left. That's the hardest throw you can make as a quarterback, rolling to your opposite side of your throwing motion. And he threw a strike to Raccia, and his team needed that big play. It's 4th and 21, and they come away with a touchdown.
Raccia had 6 catches and 2 scores over the last 2 games in this well-balanced receiving core. He comes up with a grab here. Cleveland has narrowed it to a 1-score game with a Nick Raccia reception off the bullet from Locklear. Bunch of happy Rams fans about 45-50 minutes from Chapel Hill. They made the drive from Joko. Locklear with his first touchdown pass of the game. And for Skylar Locklear, he has thrown a touchdown pass in 20 straight contests now.
What a response by him. Couple turnovers.
Ooh, the onside kick. And it's not going to go far enough. But we do have a penalty marker down. Jay, that's something that Cleveland likes to try fairly frequently.
What I like in that situation, you score a touchdown, sudden change here, you try to get a free possession with the onside kick. But again, Locklear's just tenacity, fighting through that adversity, a couple possessions that don't go your way, finding a way to get your team into the end zone was huge.
See what Seth Barnes has to say, our referee. And we're going to line it up and try it again. So the Pitt County Health Department kickoff. Join the at-home testing challenge and keep our community healthy. Smith. Nice job by Cleveland to get down. I thought where that came down, he was going to be able to really make some hay. He got some fairly good yardage, but Sparks and the Rams were able to get good pursuit downfield. 4.5 to go. And this is the North Carolina High School Athletic Association 3AA State Championship broadcast. It's presented by West Shore Home. Now let's see what Mount Tabor decides to come out and answer with here. Tabor's done a fine job tonight of keeping this Cleveland defense off balance. Cleveland has seen them rack up 246 yards of total offense. Meantime, the Rams now over 200 yards of total offense. And it's going to be a late penalty marker. Oh, Patterson goes down. And I hope this is a cramp, Sonny.
Yeah, you just feel for him. What a great game he's had, and hopefully he'll be able to get up from this, and it is just a cramp.
Snap. False start. On the offense, 5-yard penalty. Remain first down.
It'll be 1st and 15. Aaron Summers now with more on Patterson. Aaron?
And prior to that snap, Patterson was coming over to his spot on the line, and he was limping. He was in a lot of pain before he was able to get set. As soon as that ball was snapped, he went down. It does look like it appears to be a cramp as they're massaging his calf right now. Hopefully, for the Spartans' sake, that is the case, Patrick.
Yeah. Good pickup down there on the sideline, Aaron. It's great to have Aaron on the sidelines for these championship broadcasts from Chapel Hill. See if we can pick up on anything here. Kind of laboring as he runs there, and then he pulls up, and gosh, I do hope that is indeed a cramp. He is certainly a candidate for our West Shore Home Player of the Game. Let West Shore Home convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. Gorgeous night at Keenan Stadium. We're so happy you're with us. Thursday night lights, Sonny.
Thursday night lights, Friday night lights, or Saturday afternoon or Saturday night lights. We've got it all this weekend, but what a great accomplishment for these teams to make it to this point of the season and have an opportunity for a state championship.
McIntyre across his body, bobbled in the air. Oh, what a catch! What a juggle job there by Kobe Perez. And it's going to be a first down.
How did Perez hold on to this? Look at the focus as McIntyre throws this ball up. It's off that left arm. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. No Cleveland defenders were able to knock it loose. And the hand-eye coordination to continue to juggle that ball and not only catch it, but continue to move your legs to pick up the first down. What a huge play.
That for the Department of Health and Human Services. And they go quickly after the 17-yard pickup. Nothing doing. What a night for Lewis, the senior.
He is playing one of the best games of his career. We've called his name numerous times, just giving the offensive line so much trouble up front. We've seen him move around in his alignment, kind of line up inside, also go to the outside too. The coaching staff really moving him in different spots to get him free.
4 tackles and 3 tackles for loss. They're going to throw. They have a man, Smith. Tremendous grab. Check that. It's going to be the quarterback, McIntyre. And it's going to be a first down.
See a trick play here. And McIntyre's going to catch this pass. That was Chris Wilborn, the sophomore, throwing it out there. It's a good change up there to keep the defense honest.
Wilborn is their backup quarterback. 20 yards on his toss. And it results in a NCHSAA first down. You have a spot, take your shot. By and large tonight, this defense has done a really good job, led by Lewis, of bottling up B.J. McIntyre.
They have. I mean, you look at it, you have the one turnover from Patterson where he picked up the fumble for a touchdown, so that doesn't go against the defense. So they've only given up 14 points. This is one of the best offenses in the state, and they've been very sturdy, getting a lot of pressure. You know, they just have to finish strong here.
But Cleveland facing a 2nd and 11 defensively here, but Mount Tabor's so versatile with all their players. Tyrese McIntyre again darts it along the sideline. Was it caught? Yes, sir, it was. That time it was Smith. We've been waiting for Colin Smith to join the party here, and he does.
And Smith, he's made a lot of huge blocks tonight, but here through the air. Look at him tap dance over on the sideline with the focus to hold that ball, gain possession. We'll see him here. He's got possession.
Ooh.
In there. That's a close play.
Woo. Cleveland faithful don't like it. They might have a legitimate gripe. First and 10. Perez ahead to the 22. He picks up 6. Monk on the stop.
And the Spartans are really doing a nice job of keeping the defense off balance. You see the mix of the run, the pass, the trick play, getting different guys involved, moving McIntyre to the outside. There's not one launch point. They're moving things around and just making it so tough on the eyes of the front 7 for the Rams.
They've consumed over 3 minutes on this drive. And they will spill ahead close to a first down. I do believe they have it. McIntyre lunging forward inside the red zone for American Military University. Rise to the challenge with a degree from American Military University. At American Military University, you'll learn from the leader. From the 18-yard line, Hunter Morris wants to go out a winner in his final game in a Cleveland football uniform. And that first down for North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. Mount Tabor burning a timeout with 53 ticks remaining in the third.
Mount Tabor, that's their second charge timeout of this half.
So both head coaches, defensive-minded guys, talking a little bit about what they are going to do here respectively. First and 10. Well, the conclusion of our broadcast tonight will be showcasing the Hardee's Feed Your Happy play of the game. Jay, I have a sense we might have some candidates here in the final 53 seconds of the third and the final 12 minutes of the game, because it seems like this is going to be close down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these teams compete here in the last quarter, because this has been a neck-and-neck ball game. Both teams fighting so hard. Now, at this point, the Spartans have made more plays, and when things have been on the line, they've come through. But we'll see if Cleveland continue to fight here. But they've got to try to force a field goal opportunity here inside the red zone.
Do take note, the Spartans have just one timeout remaining. Nice spin by McIntyre, and that gets him inside the 15. Monk was there along with Trey Robinson for Cleveland.
Well, Coach Brown talked with Aaron, Patrick, and I this week about being physical. We talked about that wrestling background. This is where you want to impose your will, especially up in the trenches. Your offensive line, moving guys around, setting the edge up front, winning in the trenches. They're using the clock right now. They're continuing to push the ball down the field.
Could be the final play of the third. Perez stopped for a loss. Nicely done. Lennox Martinez, the junior.
Well, Martinez a few times tonight. We'll see him here coming up, getting off the block, making a big play. Such a good tackler, Martinez. Once he wraps up, he's not going to let you go.
We'll have a third down play for Mount Tabor. When we come back, they lead by 7. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association 3AA State Championship broadcast presented by West Shore Home. Don't you go away. We're about to start the fourth quarter here. 52 yards of offense for Mount Tabor in the third, but Cleveland now with over 151 in the game after being held to 87 in the first half. 3rd and 7. McIntyre flees the pocket, tucks, keeps, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. Pressure got him to flee the pocket there, Jay, and it was timely pressure for the Rams.
Yeah, good job there, getting to the outside, making the tackle. Now you sit here, 4th and 2. What are you going to do if you're the Spartans? Kick the field goal, try to make it a 2-possession game. I know you want to go for it. It looks like they're going to bring out the field goal team here, try to make this a 2-score game.
They missed a long one on the game's first drive. They had one blocked. Tren. A slight angle here, 27 yards down the pike. That's a win, though, for Cleveland, Jay. 2 scores, a 10-point game, but with the way this Mount Tabor defense gets to the football and with your offense starting to crank up, 10 points is a little less daunting than maybe 14 here.
Yeah, and the defense inside the red zone, again, standing strong. And now you're in a manageable situation. You still have 3 timeouts, a full quarter to go with an explosive offense. Scott Riley just has continued to find ways to get his playmakers open on the outside. He's found some one-on-one opportunities when the safeties have crept up, but he's got to continue to run the ball to have that threat of the running game to allow the wide receivers to get open.
Locklear with a couple of turnovers in the game, including an interception, but he's 12 out of 16 for 133 yards. By and large, Mount Tabor has contained him tonight. And Jay, I think back, that was one of the things you talked about in our Ingles Food for Thought, low prices, love the savings.
Yeah, and that was their goal, was to contain Locklear and really just limit his opportunities because he's so dangerous in the pocket, but he's at his best outside. We've seen him get a couple big runs and also throw on the perimeter. But for the most part, the Spartans have kept him contained and forced him to kind of do damage from inside the pocket.
So this time it's Piatek back in place of Middleton. And our Pitt County Health Department kickoff joined the at-home testing challenge and keep our community healthy. Piatek into a crowd. Stopped at the 28. Jay, he's a wrestler. He played 9 different positions on the JV team this year. And all he's done as a varsity running back is rush for over 100 yards. And here in this game, he's their leading rusher tonight. But a nice return there to get the offense kick-started here down 10.
He's such a versatile player and really making a big impact. We've talked about the wrestling aspect of 2 sports so many times tonight. But you can see it translate over, and it just really shows you how physical these guys are that play 2 sports.
Rams from the 29 to Middleton, and he cannot run out of a tackle. What a tremendous job. We've talked about Banks, who's headed to Army. He fought off the block, and Josiah Banks comes up with a key tackle.
Yeah, Banks, so physical and fast on the outside. You look at that, he's got a man in front of him, just throws him to the inside, and then keeps that right shoulder open to go through and make the tackle. And he's going to have a bright future at West Point, academically and on the field. He's a talented kid and such a role model for these younger players.
Locklear coming back the other way. Steps up. Unloads into traffic. 2 receivers were there. Griffith and Middleton had a hand in just to make sure the ball didn't jiggle loose. And that's a first down.
Locklear all night getting outside the pocket. Then he sets his feet. That was just an outstanding job of knowing you got time to set up there. Beautiful pass to Griffith. And those guys have just had that connection, the chemistry tonight.
Piatek lunging forward as they go quickly on 1st and 10 from the 47. Followed a 29-yard pickup. Pickup of 3 to the 44. Piatek, 5'10", 155. Huge heart, though. Locklear. A little bit of contact down the sideline. And that is Smith nestling up closely to Raccia, who has a touchdown grab tonight.
See the play in the secondary. Not a lot of room with the sideline there. A good job just kind of extending that arm by Smith, forcing that ball to be thrown close to the sideline.
All of a sudden, it's 3rd down 7. Rams 0 for 5 on 3rd down tonight. Off the hands of Griffith there. So now make him 0 for 6.
Decision time. What do you do here? 4th and 7. Plenty of time to throw here. This ball just a little bit to the outside of Griffith's hand. It's like this offense is going to stay out on the field.
Patterson with an interception tonight. He has all 3 Mount Tabor touchdowns. It is caught. First down at the 30. They went back to Carter Griffith. That'll move the chains, and it'll be an NC 529 first down. With the NC 529 plan, it's never too early or too late to start saving for education.
Well, Mount Tabor's got to double team Griffith. And they've got to get a pass rush. Locklear all day to throw. He's comfortable in the pocket. Pressure downs. 4th down and 7. You've got to pick it up. He threw a strike to a star wide receiver.
Locklear 15 of 21. Pressure. Dinks it over the top. Piatek out of bounds to preserve time with 9 minutes to go. It's going to wind up being a pickup of 7. Make it 6. Well, it's going to be 2nd and 3, a gain of 7. So ahead to the 23, knocking on that red zone. Locklear creating some space. Turns the corner. Makes it to the 21. He's going to be a yard shy. 3rd and 1 upcoming.
Both sides with their defensive units must be so frustrated tonight trying to corral these quarterbacks. I mean, Locklear, again, moves out of the pocket, kind of sets up like he's going to throw it, and then keeps on moving, sets up again, and then finally takes off. The defense just couldn't get to him.
He's completed 65% of his passes during their playoff run, and this is going to be close. Watson blew up the play. Let's take a look.
Watson right in the middle of the defense. Look at him use his arms. There are 3 Rams right around him. Big number 53 coming through there, making the play.
10th play of the drive that has consumed about 2.5 minutes. Rams really need to score here. Scott Riley and his offensive coordinator Joseph Capps. Let's see what they've dialed up here. 1st and 10 for the end zone, and it will be knocked away. Little short to Griffith, and credit Wilborn there to bat it down.
Wilborn playing defensive back. Now he's 6'2", So he's got the height advantage on Griffith. Another one-on-one opportunity. It looked like Griffith was going to get that ball, but at the last second, Wilborn got his hand in there. That's so smart. If you're a defensive back, if you can't initially get that ball, wait for it to get into the hands of the wide receiver and then knock it out. Excellent play.
Tight formation here with the receivers bunch. Klemp goes in motion. Locklear. And he'll fumble it, grab it inside the 10 to the 9. He scampers 11. The ball bounds ahead, and that is what gives him the first down. So now, inside the red zone, 1st and goal from the 9 as they pick up the first.
The ball just again bouncing out there is good job. Focusing on it, getting possession. Cleveland we see start to play more up-tempo as the clock winds down.
American Military University red zone, 1st and goal from the 9, and Locklear fighting. Dragged down at the 11. That's Noah Marshall. What a night for Marshall. 7 tackles, and that's his 3rd tackle for loss. Marshall's as good as advertised defensively, isn't he?
He is. He's been all over the field. A quick player. Uses his technique to his advantage.
Came in averaging nearly 10 tackles per game over the last handful of games. 2nd and goal. And it's going to be a sack. Locklear. They brought pressure from the defensive end, Javas Chambers. And he gets his 2nd sack of the game. The future Lewisburg JUCO Hurricane.
Look at him there, beat the block on the left side, up front. Just used his hands to knock away the offensive lineman. Now, 3rd and 15 situation coming up here. Not only is Cleveland in a tough spot, but the clock is continuing to move down, and this game is getting shortened up.
14th play of this drive, and they're going the wrong way is Cleveland. What will the Land do here down 10? For the end zone, picked off. You're in with the interception, his 2nd of the season. He's coming off a big performance, 12 tackles over Dudley in the regional final, and he gets their 3rd turnover tonight.
This secondary has played well tonight, but how about the coverage skills of the linebackers? You're in 6'3", just jumping up there, using his body to box out Griffith, and a huge play to get off the field. Again, the clock has been winding down. This game is shortened, and then you give up 0 points on this possession. What a play by the senior.
One that he will most certainly remember. So a 10-point lead for Mount Tabor. We go to Aaron Summers.
Mount Tabor takes a lot of time in practice on turnovers. They practice a takeaway drill every single day, and it's helped them have nearly 30 turnovers on the season, all led by linebacker Max Uren. He was really upset about how the defense played last week against Dudley and them giving up 20 points. They came in here today with a mission and said that they were 100% focused on playing 100% better defensively tonight. Patrick.
Aaron, they have grounded a soaring Rams offense, high octane coming in. Limited them to just 14 points in this game. Gain of 2, now 2nd and 8. Ball at the 22-yard line. Rams do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. B.J. McIntyre. And nice flow to the ball by Cleveland there again. No gains. It'll be 3rd down.
Right now it's all about possession, holding onto the ball, protecting it, staying in bounds. Coach Brown right now has to be pleased. He's in the driver's seat to win this ball game, but he's got to close it out. His team, there's some frustration at the halftime break, but they made adjustments. They played a cleaner ball game here in the second. They're in a good spot.
Started coaching at Mount Tabor, did Coach Brown in 2005. 13 losses as their head coach, just 12 as a player there. McIntyre sacked. And that's a big play for Cleveland, and coming up with it, the future engineer Robinson.
Robinson just shoots the gap. You see him there. It was a screenplay that looked like being set up, but he didn't allow enough time for McIntyre to throw the ball over the top.
Loss of 12. Also credit Jalen Hill, the senior defensive tackle in there for Cleveland. See if the Rams, how hard they go after it here. Foley over his head, kicks it out of the back of the end zone. It's a safety. And now things have gotten quite interesting. 24-16. And it's a one-score game inside of 4 minutes. Cleveland will get the ball back after this timeout. Sonny, just a case of a bad snap here.
Yeah, this is a situation about a minute ago I was saying Mount Tabor is in the driver's seat. This ball,
well,
a little bit low, just not caught.
Yeah,
that's one you should have had.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think snap was by and large okay. Foley just kind of Bill Bucknered it.
Yeah, and that's just a situation where you're backed up. There's a lot of pressure on you. You don't execute, and now you look up. This is a one-possession ball game. Cleveland, you got the timeouts, plenty of time. Now it's 4-down territory. Cleveland, after picking up on that air from the Spartans, they're feeling like they're in a good position here. Try to go down one more time and get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Trin will try the free kick here for the Pitt County Health Department. Here it comes. Tailing from the 30, Farmer. With room to midfield. Stepping through a tackle. 25-yard hard-nosed return. Rams will set up shop with 3:51 remaining, down 8 at the Mount Tabor 45.
Well, Patrick, you talked in the third quarter. You said, hey, this is going to go down to the end. And here we are now. To win a state championship, which team can close things out? Which one's going to execute? Who's going to make the big play when the pressure's on?
This is the best starting field position tonight for Cleveland. Locklear. That time it's Raccia with the near side reception and a first down. The NC 529 plan. It's never too early or too late to start saving for education. They bring you that first down there as we're getting to the waning stages of the fourth quarter. Pickup of 11. Pressure. Locklear wisely out of bounds. Might have picked up a yard. And actually he does too.
This offense, so many weapons on the outside. They're well versed in the 2-minute drill, the 4-minute drill. Locklear's had plenty of time to throw tonight. He's been able to elude the pressure.
Trying to create a little room this time. And that's going to be grounded. Jay, we've seen players from both sides tonight have a little bit of trouble on the turf with their footing.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate slip. There, as he was falling, he just tried to flip it out there, but that's an easy call with the grounding.
Seth Barnes. No, maybe not.
There is no grounding call on the play. There was a receiver in there.
All right, Jay, this is why you make the big bucks. Break that one down.
Huge break. Look at Coach Brown over on the sideline. He's livid. He got out of the tackle box, and maybe that is why that was picked up. But I'll tell you, Cleveland, that's a huge get for them. That was going to be catastrophic with 3rd and long.
3rd and 8, wave the flag off. Now a penalty marker, and another one comes flying in.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Let's take another look at the play that was initially called grounding and then waved off.
We'll see here, Loeffler get outside. Now, he was throwing towards a wide receiver. The wide receiver was far down the field. He's well outside the tackle box. There just flips it out.
Good call.
I think it is. After you have that conversation initially, you get everything set, and then you pick it up, so I agree with it.
3rd and 13 after the penalty. Locklear running for his life. Locklear gets free somehow. And it's going to be caught. 30-yard line. And coming up to make the reception is Noah Klemp, who had a huge game against Lee County. Had no catches last week, and we have an injured Tabor player. And a flag. Looks like a hold on both sides, so they'll be offsetting. The play will stand. And they're helping the injured Mount Tabor player off. Let's hope that's a case of maybe cramps or something along those lines. And Mount Tabor, both sides have played so hard here tonight. And Perez being helped off the field. Well, West Shore Home presents our player of the game. And I think right now, Jay, undoubtedly, Lance Patterson has been the star tonight. West Shore Home, the player of the game, Lance Patterson. Let West Shore Home convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day.
Patterson scoring touchdowns on the offensive end and the defensive end. He exploded in the first half out at wide receiver, and then the second half he controlled the game from his secondary position. There you see the interception, picked up the fumble for the touchdown. He's been so good tonight and playing both ways. He made such an impact.
A gain of 10. Ball will be marked at about the 27-yard line. And just outside. Nose of the football nestled there. And off the bench, Amir Johnson, who has not played in the game tonight, the senior, missing last week with an ankle injury, gets the handoff here, and he runs for a first down.
What a big get. 3rd and 3. The offensive line clearing the path up front, giving him plenty of room.
He got 17 yards. Now on 1st and 10 as they go quickly. Johnson got very little that time. The NC 529 plan bringing you that first down a moment ago. Can this be a Willis Reed-like situation? Google it, kids. Pretty good stuff. Inside the American University, Military University red zone. And I wonder if that one was deflected at the line. So now 3rd and 10 all of a sudden. 2:04 to go. Cleveland does have 3 timeouts. Jay, they don't need the end zone here to keep the drive going.
Yeah, I think here you look for Griffith. He's been your big play guy tonight. Try to find a way to get him the ball outside.
Locklear. Still running. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that burned a lot of clock.
That was a great effort, but he was living on the edge. A couple times there, that could have been a huge sack. But now here, a critical, I mean, this is the ball game. 4th and 10 coming up. He did have Griffith open on a crossing route, but he had to get outside when Watson shot up the middle. They had the play they wanted.
Cleveland takes the timeout. A quick injury update with Aaron Summers.
Cleveland will be without Rams Isaac Piatek the rest of the game. He is on the sideline with a brace on his right leg and is on crutches. Has taken off his jersey, unable for the rest of the game, Patrick.
Oh, gracious. So, Jay, they're without Goins and Piatek here, and you could just see the pain on that young man's face.
Yeah, and he's had such an impressive ball game. You know he wants to be out there. What he's been able to do in this playoff run in here tonight, it's tough to see.
Well, time to take a look at our Hardee's Feed Your Happy play of the game. The first score, McIntyre to Patterson, 70 yards.
Perfect throw over the top by McIntyre. He sucked that defense up and run support and then hit Patterson over the top in stride. That's how the Spartans got going early on here through the air.
Cleveland's 2019 playoff run ended in a game they led by 17 points at Lee County. They avenged that Lee County loss in the second round of the playoffs. Got the benefit of a safety getting the ball back. They're now facing 4th down and 10 from the Mount Tabor 17-yard line, down 8. Now keep in mind here, if they do score, they're going to need a 2-point try to be successful to create a brand new ball game. More pressure. A flag for the end zone, deflected away at the last instant. And a great play there by Slade, I believe.
Looks like it's going to be a hold on Cleveland.
They wanted Griffith. It was knocked away. Maybe it was Banks. Realization setting in. Cleveland players and euphoria on the far side of the stadium. And they're going to turn it over on downs.
Look up front. Again, the pressure up the middle. That was an easy holding call. That was Lance Simpson, the defensive tackle, breaking free there. We got number 40, the nose tackle, right there. Double team, triple team. And here's the hold.
And it was indeed Banks. A tough night for Skylar Locklear, the junior. 17 out of 28 for 189 yards. And McIntyre putting the game on ice with a first down there.
Patrick, this Mount Tabor team, they've had some mistakes. A couple things didn't go their way, but they've continued to fight. I've just been so impressive. They've had the explosive plays, but when things were going against them, when they didn't have the momentum, they did enough to regain that momentum, making plays. They're going to come away here with an 8-point state championship victory.
NC 529 first down with the NC 529 plan. It's never too early or too late to start saving for education. Jay, just 2 penalties for 15 yards in the second half for Mount Tabor. And another determined run by B.J. McIntyre.
And Coach Brown had harped on the penalty issues when they had 6 in the first half. His message was heard loud and clear at the halftime break. They cleaned that area up. That's one of the main reasons they're going to get the trophy and win this game.
Cleveland burning their second time out of the half. Well, let's take a look at our Legacy Federal Credit Union drive of the game. This is the Patterson play. That was followed by a great diving catch, and then Patterson on the end around caps it. His second of 3 touchdowns in this game tonight. Be your best you at a Legacy Federal Credit Union. Mount Tabor's second ever appearance in the state championship game. McIntyre takes a knee.
Here it comes.
Deshaun Brown talked about this week being an assistant on the 07 team that lost to Hoggard. That game was played at Wake Forest University in their hometown, but they come to Chapel Hill and claim their first ever state championship. Spartans are your 3AA champs in 2021. Cleveland defensively played so tough. But attrition got to them. Mount Tabor coming out, taking advantage of a couple of early second half turnovers. And we'll take a timeout and come back with a final word from Chapel Hill. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association 3AA State Championship broadcast is presented by West Shore Home, and Mount Tabor are your 3AA state champs. Here's Aaron with the victorious coach.
Coach, you said that you have a second half team. What did it take from them to solidify this win tonight?
We just had to keep playing Mount Tabor football, being physical. We knew we was a little bit faster than them, and we was going to be more physical than them, and it paid off in the second quarter. We end up taking the ball from them. That was a huge play by Lance Patterson, scooping and scoring. It was our time. It was our time.
Speaking of Lance Patterson, over 100 yards, a touchdown. He had 2 turnovers on the defensive end. How big was he tonight?
He was huge. He was huge, and the best thing about it, he coming back. He coming back.
This feeling that you have, you said you wanted to come back here. What does it mean to you to bring Mount Tabor their first championship title?
Sweetheart, it means everything. We talked about this thing for so long, and to see these kids achieve this, it's just a beautiful thing, and I'm just proud that this team was the first one to win. I'm so proud.
If you look at this camera right here, Coach, what was it about this team that allowed them to do this?
Brotherhood and the love they have for one another. That's it, completely. They bleed in one another every day. These guys practice their tails off ever since March. During the COVID, them guys got together, found a way to practice. Them guys looked out for one another, brought each other food. Whatever it needs for this team, this brotherhood stayed together all year.
Congratulations, Coach. Go get your trophy.
Thank you, Mel. Go Mount Tabor.
Hey, Aaron, thank you. Great job down there, and a jubilant scene for Mount Tabor. Started the year with just 35 healthy bodies, but they'll wrap up the 2021 spring season 11-0 and state champs. We now have the awards presentation. And Assistant Commissioner Karen DeHart and other staffers with the High School Athletic Association will be presenting the runner-up and head coach hardware. And the captains, along with Scott Riley, will head out to receive their runner-up plaque. Munka Jr. will be back, and that is one thing, Jay. There are a lot of young players on both these rosters. Both head to 4A next year. And even though Cleveland will lose some key players, they're expected to have back a healthy Omarion Hampton. They'll have Locklear back and others. And Cleveland making it to the championship game for the first time in their history. A game effort here tonight, Sonny, but just came up, unfortunately, for Rams fans short.
Yeah, they've had an outstanding season, and they fought through some adversity here tonight, previously with injuries. But you talk about the talent coming back. They can use this ball game being so close as motivation in the offseason to come back strong next year with all those returning pieces they have coming back.
Nobody will say what about, but you do have to wonder how things might have been a little different with Omarion Hampton out there. But Mount Tabor defensively swarming to the ball, offensively making plays. And Patterson, the big star, Coach Brown and his team winning the state football championship. And congratulations to Mount Tabor High School, 3AA state champions. We'll wrap up our broadcast tonight from Chapel Hill after this. Patterson selected by the media as the most outstanding player. He was our player of the game as well. 3 touchdowns tonight. 2 on offense, 1 on the ground, 1 through the air. A scoop and score, an interception. He did it all tonight, Jay.
Yeah, Patterson was dominant. He controlled the ball game with the ball in his hands and also locking down defenders and scoring defensive touchdowns, getting an interception from the defensive back position. And he's a guy that's coming back next year and going to have hopes to repeat. But what a ball game tonight to lead his team to the state championship.
3AA champs in 2021. Mount Tabor will finish 11-0. The Rams, the runner-up, 10-1. All of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful folks at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association and these broadcast sponsor partners: West Shore Home, Hardee's, American Military University, a Legacy Federal Credit Union, Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, North Carolina Assistant C529, Duke University Health Systems, and Ingalls Markets. All of these sponsors, partners, through their contributions to the program, make these championship games possible for viewers like you at home. For Jay Sunhalder and Aaron Summers, I'm Patrick Johnson. Mount Tabor, they climbed to the top of the mountain in 2021, the 3AA champs.